Hi everyone, welcome back to Simple English Talk. I'm Alex, and today we're diving deep into something so many learners ask about, how to fix your English accent. And not just fix it in a forced, robotic way, but actually shape it into something clear, confident, and natural. If you've ever felt like people don't understand you, or you feel shy speaking English because of your accent, you're not alone. We're going to work through it together. First of all, let's get this clear. Having an accent is not a bad thing. Everyone has an accent. I have one. You have one. Native speakers from different regions have different accents. But the goal here is clarity, not perfection. The goal is to be understood and to feel good when you speak. You don't need to sound like a Hollywood actor or a news presenter, but you do need to make sure that your pronunciation doesn't make communication difficult. So in this episode, we'll talk about how to train your mouth and ears to work in English. And we're going to keep things simple and practical, just like always. Start listening closely to how native speakers talk. I don't mean just hearing words, I mean really listening. Notice how they connect words, how their pitch rises and falls, where they pause, and which words they stress. It's not just the words they say, it's how they say them. That rhythm, that melody, it's what makes English sound like English. Now, if you've ever recorded yourself speaking English, you might have felt surprised, maybe even a little embarrassed. That's totally normal. Our brains are used to how we sound in our own heads. But when we hear ourselves from the outside, it's different. Still, recording yourself is one of the best ways to improve. Try reading a short paragraph aloud. Record it, then listen and compare it with a native speaker saying the same thing. Where do you sound different? Is it a vowel? A consonant? The rhythm? That's where you begin. Mouth training is another big part. English uses mouth movements that might feel strange if your native language is different. Some sounds are softer, some stronger. The th sound, for example, like in think or this, might not exist in your language. To get it right, you've got to stick your tongue out just a little between your teeth and let the air flow. It might feel awkward at first, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And let's talk about stress. Not emotional stress, but word stress. In English, one part of a word is usually stronger than the others. For example, in the word banana, the stress is on the second syllable, banana. If you say banana or banana, it can confuse people. Learning where to place stress can totally change how understandable you are. Also, don't ignore intonation, that musical rise and fall in your voice when you speak. It's what helps you sound friendly, interested, and natural. For example, when you ask a question, your voice often goes up. When you finish a sentence, it usually goes down. Practice with simple questions like, "Are you coming?" or "Is it raining?" and feel that upward tone. And the good news is, you can learn this. Your accent is not fixed. Your brain and mouth can adapt. It just takes time and consistent practice. Start with small chunks, a few sounds at a time, one sentence a day. Don't rush. Slow practice is powerful. Shadowing is a great method too. It's when you listen to a native speaker and repeat after them immediately, matching their speed, tone, and rhythm. You're not just copying words, you're copying how they speak. It's like singing along with a song. You get into the flow of English. You train your brain to think in English sounds. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Don't feel embarrassed if your tongue trips or if you mix up sounds. That's part of the learning process. The only mistake is not practicing. Speak out loud every day, even if it's just to yourself in the mirror, even if it's one sentence again and again. Also, choose one accent to focus on. American English, British English, whichever you prefer. Mixing both can confuse you at the beginning. It's okay to understand both, but when you're training your accent, stick with one so your brain can form strong patterns. Watch content in that accent. Movies, YouTube channels, podcasts. Imitate the way they talk. Even simple phrases like, "How's it going?" or "What do you think?" can help shape your accent when you say them like a native speaker would. You can also try using tongue twisters. They're fun, and they challenge your mouth to move in new ways. Say this slowly. She sells seashells by the seashore. Or the 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. These help you with clarity and control. Let's not forget about breathing either. When you're tense, your voice can sound stiff. Relaxed breathing gives you a natural rhythm. Take a deep breath before speaking, especially in conversations or presentations. It helps your words flow better. I want you to know, you can change your accent. You can make it clearer, smoother, and easier to understand. It just takes awareness, daily practice, and a bit of patience. The progress won't be instant, but if you stay with it, your voice will begin to sound more natural, more confident, and yes, more English. So stay with me in this episode. We're going to continue practicing, listening, repeating, and fine-tuning our speech. I'll guide you step by step, phrase by phrase, and help you become the speaker you want to be. This is Simple English Talk, and I'm Alex. Let's keep going. You've got this. And if you're still here listening, I want to remind you, this process isn't about erasing who you are. Your accent is part of your story. We're not trying to hide it. What we're doing is learning how to adjust it so that people can understand you clearly and you feel confident expressing yourself. Let's talk more about listening, really active listening. When you watch a movie, don't just focus on the story. Pay attention to how the actors say things. Pick a short sentence and repeat it 5 times, exactly like they do. Try to match their energy, their pauses, even the little sounds they make between words. You'll start noticing patterns in how English is spoken naturally. You might notice something called connected speech. Native speakers don't always pronounce each word separately. They often connect words. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" clearly, word by word, it becomes, "What you doing?" Or, "I'm going to eat" might sound like, "I'm gonna eat." Learning how these connections work will help your accent sound more natural and less choppy. One really helpful tool is to work with minimal pairs. These are words that sound almost the same but have one different sound, like ship and sheep, or bat and bet. Practicing these can really fine-tune your listening and speaking. You start to hear and feel the difference between sounds you might be mixing up. Also, start speaking English out loud in your daily life. Describe what you're doing. "I'm making coffee." "I'm opening the window." "I'm walking to the store." Say these things out loud, even if you're alone. It builds fluency and confidence, and it gives you real, practical pronunciation practice every day. Try slowing down your speech just a little. A lot of learners think that speaking fast makes them sound fluent, but fluency is not about speed, it's about smoothness and clarity. It's better to speak slowly and be understood than to rush and be confusing. Over time, your speed will increase naturally as your confidence grows. Reading out loud is also incredibly helpful. Choose a short paragraph from a book or article and read it slowly and clearly. Record it. Listen back. Notice what sounds off. Then listen to a native speaker reading something similar. Repeat, compare, adjust. That feedback loop is what really changes your accent. And one more thing, don't be too hard on yourself. You won't sound perfect after a week or even a month. Changing the way you speak takes time. Think of it like learning a musical instrument. You're retraining your muscles, your ears, and even your brain. And like learning music, it gets better with regular, steady practice. As we go deeper into this episode, we'll be going through real-life sentences, repeating phrases, and working on some tricky sounds together. I'll guide you step by step. You don't need special tools, just your ears, your voice, and your time. So, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's keep practicing. Bit by bit, sentence by sentence, we're building the kind of English you'll be proud to speak. Stay with me, more to come.